CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Makovic.
Right now on the afternoon edition, we have breaking news out of Israel, where Iran has launched retaliatory strikes in Tel Aviv. We are still getting information on those strikes that happened within the past half an hour or so. Air raid sirens were going off throughout the city and people being ordered into bomb shelters. Taking a live picture right now from Tel Aviv. That is where we are seeing smoke rising over the skyline. We have not gotten any reports yet of casualties, but of course, this is all still developing. There were reports of explosions heard throughout Jerusalem. Again, Iran has launched a missile attack on Israel. Here is video from the last hour showing missiles over Tel Aviv. You can see the explosions there and smoke rising above the buildings. Iran state media is reporting the country has fired hundreds of ballistic missiles toward Israel. The missile attack comes after Israel launched more than 200 airstrikes in Iran, continuing a major operation that began overnight. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israeli warplanes hit more than 100 targets, killing leading nuclear scientists and at least 3 top Iranian generals. There are reports that at least 78 Iranians were killed and more than 300 others wounded. The United Nations Security Council is holding an emergency meeting over this escalating crisis today. Back to those live pictures from Tel Aviv right now. World leaders are calling for de-escalation, and for the Trump administration is meantime stressing that the U.S. was not part of last night's operation. Earlier today on Truth Social, President Trump warned that it's only going to get worse unless Iran comes to the negotiating table, saying they must make a nuclear deal before there is nothing left. He has not yet officially responded to these attacks on Israel. We're going to stay on top of this and bring you any new developments as we learn them. Meantime, developing news here at home. The National Guard will remain in Los Angeles for now after an appeals court temporarily blocked a San Francisco federal judge's decision ordering the president to release the troops back to state control. A hearing is going to be held on this next Tuesday. Our Nydia Cavazos has the latest in Los Angeles as the Marines are now arriving in the city.
200 Marines are moving into Los Angeles to protect federal property and personnel, joining National Guard troops there. But the head of the military operation emphasized they will not participate in law enforcement activities.
As of today, we have had no soldier or Marine detain anyone.
The continued military presence comes after an appeals court temporarily halted a judge's ruling late Thursday that had ordered President Trump to return control of the National Guard to California's Governor Gavin Newsom.
He is not a monarch. He is not a king.
In his social media post this morning, President Trump thanked the appeals court for its decision. Protests over ongoing immigration raids started a week ago in Los Angeles and have since spread across the country.
Stop the raid! Stop the raid!
The Department of Homeland Security said Friday that 4 people escaped from an immigration detention facility in Newark, New Jersey, where demonstrators gathered Thursday night. According to internal government data obtained by CBS News, there were more than 56,000 individuals in ICE detention centers across the country early Friday. That's a record for the agency.
It's going to be a big weekend as well across the U.S. and here in the Bay Area. People will join the No Kings protest tomorrow, the same day as President Trump's U.S. Army parade in D.C. That celebration is in honor of the Army's 250th birthday and coincides with the president's 79th birthday. Tanks are already parked at a staging area there in D.C. That event will also feature fireworks, music, and the Army's Golden Knights parachute team. The parade is expected to cost between $25 and $45 million. In some comments earlier this week, President Trump said that any protesters who show up will be met with, quote, very big force. More than 80 No Kings protests are planned across the Bay Area tomorrow. In San Francisco, protesters are marching from Dolores Park to Civic Center Plaza. People in San Jose rallying at St. James Park, and in Oakland, a gathering is expected at Wilma Chan Park before a march to Frank-Ogawa Plaza. Oakland Police Chief Floyd Mitchell says police are focused on making sure those protests remain peaceful.
We have talked about it throughout this week with everything that's going on across the nation to make sure that, one, we provide the space for peaceful protest, but we're also not going to just allow the people that want to come into our community that are not part of our community to come in and cause damage to our homes.
Remember, we are streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app. We're going to have full coverage, so stay with us there for the latest on the protest happening throughout the Bay Area and nationwide. Other developing stories we are following right now. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the man who was mistakenly deported 3 months ago to El Salvador, has pleaded not guilty to human smuggling charges here in the U.S. Before today's hearing in Nashville, Tennessee, Abrego Garcia's wife spoke with the press. She says she's grateful to those who fought to bring him home and shared a message from her husband.
To all the families still fighting to be reunited.
Para todas las familias que todavía están luchando para ser unidas de nuevo.
After a family separation.
Después de una separación familiar.
Or if you too are in the detention.
O si tú mismo estás en detención ahorita mismo.
Kilmar wants you to have faith.
Kilmar quiere que tengas fe.
He said.
Abrego Garcia is accused of being involved in a human smuggling operation in 2022. His lawyer is calling the allegations preposterous. Formal announcement expected today on the new name for the USNS Harvey Milk. Back in 2016, the ship was named after the late gay rights leader and San Francisco supervisor who served in the Navy in the 50s and was, of course, assassinated in 1978. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced that there would be a name change earlier this month. We're going to keep an eye on that. We are highlighting stories of compassion and understanding this Pride Month. Coming up, we have a heartwarming story about a father making sure his daughter feels like she belongs.
And speaking of fathers, it's Father's Day weekend, and we're looking at beautiful conditions all across the Bay. It's not going to be too hot if you're planning on heading out to the opening weekend of the Alameda County Fair, and I'll let you know what the other things are looking like across the Bay coming up in just a bit.
Here is the levity we need in our lives right now, a sign of the start of summer here in the Bay Area. Today is opening day for the Alameda County Fair. Veronica Macias is there live for the grand opening. I know the fairgrounds opened just a couple minutes ago, and it looks like you are bellied up to the picnic table. Tell us what you got.
Do I have any powdered sugar on my chin here? Because my mouth was watering. I just couldn't wait. I had to dig into the funnel cake here. And yeah, you know what? People are starting to slowly come in. They just opened the doors. And you know what? With all the news happening right now, this is a way to kind of come out here and have some family fun and unplug. There's plenty to see and plenty to do. You know, I've been spending the day here with Kim Bardakian, and you're going to tell us the spread that we have out here. There is so much food to choose from. There's also new vendors.
Yep.
Of course, the traditional funnel cake, but tell us what else do we have?
Yeah, so we've got some of the traditions of the funnel cake, a block of curly fries. You've got your huge dill pickle, then your jumbo corn dog. We've got aqua fresca, and of course everything again is bigger here. So we have the jumbo turkey leg. This is a new vendor that we like, the Dough Show, super moist and different flavors of cookies, which
and
we're going to
also have items that we don't have here.
Yes.
But this is interesting. Look, you have the sandia, they call it the watermelon taco. So you have that chamoy and you have the sour strawberry strips in there. Interesting.
Again, something typical. A lot of fairs have the on a stick. And then, of course, the TikTok trend is to have anything Dubai. So the strawberry Dubai chocolate.
You're going to get the kids super high on sugar here because there's so much to pick from, but you have lots of things to do for the family. You have free movies, you have the hot air balloons that are tethered, and you also have that new King XXL ride. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so they're 45 feet in the air, King XXL. I will not be going on that. However, there's rides for anyone, all ages, all adventure levels, from the merry-go-round to the big rides in the sky.
And you know what I love too is, and you have, if you are into entertainment and music, you could come out here. Today it's spectacular because you have fireworks, but you also have concerts.
Absolutely. There's a concert every single night, which is fantastic. From this weekend, tonight we have War, and then we have the Gym Class Heroes, and then on Sunday it's the Romantics. That's just this weekend, but Air Supply, Sugar Ray, Too Short.
It's all here. We love it. There's just about anything and everything you could think of to do for the kiddos, the rides, and you have also the stunt show. So you have to come on down here. It's 18 days that it's running.
18 days, absolutely, from noon to 11 p.m. So come early, stay late, and shopping too. If it gets too hot, go inside a lot of the shopping pavilions where you can get some local vendors and get some AC.
And you know what? Today it's already panning out to be a great day. They have the what are these called again? The sky deck running, and they have all the plushies out here. Plushies big enough to cover the entire size of your queen bed. If you're, the kids are going to be out here asking for those plushies.
And then also, let's not forget the livestock and all the animals and a petting zoo. And there's camel rides. Camel rides are new this year. So there's literally everything. Any type of animal you want to see, everything's here.
We love it. Okay, and I think I'm going to say, let's see, a little cheers with the, can we?
My goodness.
Thank you for everything today, and cheers to you, and we'll try to save some and take some back to you.
Okay, sold. I'm sold on a trip to the Alameda County Fair. Veronica Macias live for us. Thank you so much. Meantime, let's get a check on our weather if you are headed out there or to one of the many protests around the Bay Area this weekend. Weather should cooperate. Let's check in with Zoe Nitz.
My mouth is watering. I want a funnel cake right now. But if you're heading out there, the good news is it's going to be pleasant weather because temperatures are going to be actually a degree or two below average, even with plenty of sunshine that we're seeing across our inland areas. Closer to our coastal communities, though, like here in San Francisco, it's still pretty darned foggy out there. We're still looking at that marine layer that's getting ushered in by the onshore winds. This is our view from on top of Salesforce, where, it's still pretty foggy out there. Temperatures, though, are in the mid-50s for us, while our inland communities are already warming up to the low 70s in places like Concord, upper 60s in San Jose and up to Santa Rosa. Really depends where you are and whether or not you're dealing with the impacts of the fog and the cloud coverage. And again, into this afternoon, temperatures a degree or two below average. But that's actually what we've been feeling basically all week long. It is nothing unseasonable, nothing that we haven't been dealing with basically every single day of this past work week. Upper 50s along our coastal communities, mid 60s here in San Francisco, upper 70s to low 80s across our inland East Bay communities. Again, it is very, very typical of this time of year. Again, within a degree or two of normal and very seasonable compared to what we've been seeing all week long. And these very normal conditions are going to stick around into this upcoming weekend. So kind of a rinse and repeat waking up tomorrow morning, seeing that fog to start off the day, giving way to afternoon sunshine, onshore winds gusting up to 20 to 30 miles an hour. That's going to stick around through tomorrow and into Sunday. So any outdoor plans, like I showed you earlier, you want to head out to the Alameda County Fair, the Solano County Fair. It is going to be a great weekend for it. Just don't forget to grab the sunscreen and the sunglasses, but heat safety is not necessarily going to be a huge issue. If you want to head out for Father's Day, whether you want to throw around a football, go fishing, if you're doing so in San Francisco, it's going to be a bit chillier. Upper 50s to low 60s as you head out in the afternoon hours. So again, we are continuing to see onshore flow, coastal communities dealing with the cooler conditions. And if you want to enjoy some sunshine and warmer weather, just head on inland. It doesn't take a long drive to feel the upper 70s to low 80s. And then this is what everyone's going to be looking forward to is the heat up on the way Tuesday, Wednesday. You'll be looking at upper 80s to low 90s returning to the forecast. Enjoy the cooler and more comfortable conditions this weekend, though, while you can. Back to you.
Thank you, Zoe. And here's one for Father's Day coming up, a heartwarming story about a sense of belonging. We'll be right back.
No matter what's going on around you, no matter how hard it gets, you gotta keep doing you, baby.
It is Pride Month, and we are sharing the heartwarming story today of a local sheriff's deputy who ensured his daughter felt loved and supported when she came out. As Len Ramirez reports, he is now leading the charge for inclusivity at the San Mateo County Sheriff's Department.
We'll probably end up going somewhere. Well, what time's your meeting tonight? 7:30, but I also don't have to go.
What would you eat?
For as long as she could remember, Vanessa saw her father Carlos as a family pillar, a community protector as a deputy sheriff, and as her soccer and softball coach. But for years growing up, she carried a truth she never dared to share with her dad or her family. She was gay.
It wasn't just about telling my dad, it was about telling my entire family and risking, for me at that time, risking what I felt could be losing my family, or more than anything, disappointing them. Having a deputy as a father didn't, it didn't dawn on me that it would necessarily be the easiest to come out to tell them, so I waited for a really long time.
Vanessa says she knew from about the time she was in 3rd grade. It was a series of realizations that only grew stronger as she got older. But for years she kept it inside. That is until she met her partner, Mary Bell, and fell in love. Finally, at 21, she couldn't keep the secret any longer.
I remember when I did come out to my dad, and he very much told me that he loved me and that he supported me 100%. But one thing specifically rings a bell, and it's that he said that it wasn't going to be easy, that it was going to be difficult. Sorry. It was going to be a journey, and but that he supported me, that he loved me, and he cared about me.
I think I was glad that it was out in the open, because I saw the struggles that she went through as a kid, and things started to make sense. But what I was scared was of the future and some of the things that she would have to go through along the way, along this journey. And to this day, you still see them, some of the things that she goes through, and some people are not as accepting. But I think as time goes on, I do see a change.
And now Carlos is a part of making that change. As the president of the San Mateo County Deputy Sheriff's Association, he's leading the effort to create rainbow patches that members can choose to wear on their uniforms during Pride Month. They're also sold to the public to raise funds for local LGBTQ services.
I think about Vanessa every time I'd wear it. It's a way of showing that, hey, I support her. And, the LGBTQ community, not only just her, but the deputies in the sheriff's office.
And Vanessa has followed in her father's footsteps, becoming a labor leader in her own right with the Teamsters Union in San Mateo County, raising her voice to support workers in the gay community while still navigating her own personal path.
I can't say it's been smooth sailing since then. I'm 30 years old now, but it's been a journey, and that's part of it, but it makes me who I am, and I'm proud of who I am. I'm a Latina, I'm queer, I'm a woman, and I couldn't be more proud of who I am.
And something else happened that Vanessa didn't expect. Her coming out didn't tear the family apart, it brought them closer.
Our relationship's definitely gotten stronger, the bond's there. It's weird because I'm the parent, but I'm learning more from her now. And she's teaching me things, whether it's in labor or whether it's in the community she belongs to. I'm learning every day from Vanessa, so it's great.
Today, they still play ball, but it's just for fun and part of a family tradition. And now, as an adult, Vanessa doesn't see the authoritative father figure or the badge anymore when she looks at her dad. She sees the man who loves and supports her, no matter what.
There's a whole lot of memories here at this park.
All right, we are also continuing to follow that breaking news: explosions in Tel Aviv as Iran begins counterstrikes against Israel. We are going to have the latest on the escalating tensions in the Middle East when we come back. All right, just want to bring you up to speed here on the breaking news. We are covering an escalating situation in the Middle East as we take a live look at Tel Aviv this afternoon. You can see a building is damaged. Iran state-run media reporting that Iran launched hundreds of ballistic missiles toward Israel. Again, this is a live picture right now of some recent damage there in Tel Aviv. Yeah, and And this is a video from earlier explosions above the city. This all appears to be in retaliation after Israel's earlier attack yesterday, targeting several of Iran's nuclear sites. Now, we still have not heard from U.S. officials on today's escalation on the Iranian attack in Israel. But last night, President Trump warned Iran to come back to the negotiating table when it comes to its nuclear program, but said the U.S. is not involved. We'll be following this.